Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Abby with Fitness is Medicine. Today I'm going to give you another great workout you can do in your home. And today all you're going to need is some tubes, a little bit heavier. We're going to do a good lat pull sitting on the ground, which we've done in the past. And then a set of dumbbells that we can use for a few different exercises. And a fit ball if you have one. All right, so make sure you come into this warmed up and ready to move. Remember to always do 5 to 10 minutes of a good cardio workout before you come into this to open up those blood vessels, get those muscles primed and ready to move, and get everything ready. So today we're going to start with this lat pull. So we'll start with the big muscle groups in your back. I'm going to have you sit on the floor so that you can really pull down and think about squeezing those shoulder blades down and together. So they sit like this on your back, and you want to think about squeezing them down and together. The more you think about muscle recruitment, the more muscle fibers you actually do recruit. So let's get started. So I've got a couple of bands on here to make it a little bit stronger. So remember, you want to sit down, bring those shoulders down away from your ears. Be really deliberate about that. Squeeze down all the way to your armpits and really envision those shoulder blades coming together and also coming down as you pull down. So I want you to be pulling down from up, not leaning like this and doing a row. So that's a different, it's just a little bit different. I'm really focusing on the lats here. 6, nice and slowly, both directions. 7, keep breathing. 8, use those back muscles. Many times I see people getting a heavier weight and they kind of crunch it down here, and then you're using different muscles. So use those back muscles. Envision pulling, keeping your shoulders pulled back, and using those large muscles in your back. Okay. Next, we're going to do a side-stepping squat. And I'm just going to have you pick up a set of dumbbells that you're going to use for a couple of these exercises. So I've got my dumbbells here. I'm just going to hold them in my hands like this. So my elbows in my sides, just holding them like this. I want you to squat out to the side, come up, and we're just going to go back and forth here. Really sitting your hips back into that deep squat. If your knees hurt, do a smaller squat. And then really, when you're squatting, remember you're sitting back. Your weight is in the heels of your feet. Sitting back, going as low as you can without any pain. Remember to keep your abs engaged to help protect your back. Sit those hips back each time. Let's do 2 more each way. All right, good, really good. Now we're going to grab our fit ball, hang on to those weights, and we're going to do a bridge on the ball and do some windmills. So if this is the first time that you're doing these, try them first on the ground if you're not sure about your balance on the ball. So you can lie down on the floor, feet bent, knees bent, feet on the floor, and do windmills that way. So they're you're kind of scissoring your arms. So I would use a lighter weight for this one. So if you need to change dumbbells, go ahead and do that while I explain this. So I'm going to have you walk out to a bridge. So your head and shoulders are resting comfortably on top of the ball. And then you're pressing your hips up so you've got a nice flat surface from your knees to your shoulders. Press those weights straight up in the air. And we're going to just windmill our arms or scissors them. Keep them straight, both directions. Like I said, if you need a lighter weight, go ahead and switch it now. I'd rather have you switch and do a lighter weight than try to power through with too much. So this is getting our shoulders. If you have shoulder pain with it, you can bend your elbows just a little bit. That'll take a little bit of the pressure off. Limit your range of motion a little bit more. Remember, if you're really unsteady on a ball, do this on the floor. Keep breathing, keep those hips pressed towards the ceiling. And the other thing is, if you are having shoulder pain, like I said, grab a lighter weight. Always do a lighter weight. This is working, like I said, it's working your shoulders, and it's also working your lats in a little bit different way than we did on that first exercise. So you might feel that back in here a little bit differently than you have in the past when we've done a lat pull down. Okay, now we're going to set our weights down. Remember to always do it with good form. Okay, we're gonna do seated knee lifts. So find a sturdy chair. A coffee table works great. A kitchen chair that's nice and stable and firm. And I want you to sit up nice and tall, press your hands right under your thighs, and you're going to lift your knees towards your shoulders. Now, the key here is not to rock back. So you're engaging your abs to lift those knees up off the ground. You're gonna lift your feet. So when I do this, I envision crunching towards my knees to really activate those quads and not use momentum to tip backwards. So if you know, whatever's comfortable here, put your hands on the side of the chair or the bench or whatever you're using. Don't let your shoulders come up around your ears. Keep them down. And lift and lower those feet. If you find you're lifting one and then the other, that's fine. Switch. Try to lift the other one first. But your ultimate goal is to lift them at the same time. Okay, great. Now we're going to do a balance one. Make sure your dumbbells are out of the way so you don't trip on them. I'm going to refresh my screen here. We're going to do airplane tip overs. So do this. This is a great place to do this, like I always say. Is it a kitchen counter or somewhere with a sturdy railing? You can put your arms out to the side. That helps with your balance. I want you to just tip over and then slowly come back up. So we're engaging our glutes here. Don't let momentum and gravity just pull you straight back up. Use those glutes and those hamstrings and really pull yourself back up with your glutes, your standing leg. This is a huge hip stabilizer. Tipping over. So you can envision your feet. If you want to do this one barefoot, it's a really good idea. Spreading your toes out. If you're still wearing your shoes, spread your toes out in your shoes. Think about gripping with your whole foot. And then try to keep the leg that's tipping back in line with your body, in line with your torso. So that, it's like there's a cast here, keeping this straight, and you're just tipping off this standing hip. That will protect your back if you're having any back pain with this. Really envision that hip, keeping your torso and your leg this leg all in one straight line, like you're wearing a cast. Nice and slowly, both directions. We're going to do this 10 times. That was 8, I think. If you're doing it for a really long time and you think you've done way more than that, you can switch legs. Or you can just do a few more. Okay, switch legs. So that standing leg is really engaging strong, holding it nice and strong. Think about that glute holding you and then pulling you back up. Envision those toes spread apart in your shoes. Whoops. You want to have them spread, helping, every part of your foot is helping balance here. So you're working your toes, your feet, your ankles, your calves, your quads, your hamstrings. Everything is engaging here to keep you stable. Engaging that core. And if you do find that your hip here is kind of going out like that, stop, get it back in line, and then go again. And if you need to, use a little assistance with a railing or a counter or something. The other thing is you can go in a smaller range of motion. If you're just here, and that is a really big challenge for you, that is great. Work on that. Okay, good job. We're gonna, let's see, end with lateral raises with that same set of dumbbells. So, making sure my video is working. Okay. So let's end, if your legs are really just overrun after that last balance exercise, you can just stand with a good hip width apart and then out to the side. Or if you want a little bit more of a challenge, let's try a little tandem stance in addition. So just bring those arms straight out to the side, nice and slowly, and stop kind of right at the height of your shoulder or maybe just a little bit below. So you don't need to take it up past the height of your shoulder. We don't need to cause any impingement problems here. If you're having pain, bringing it straight out to the side, do a little bit of a diagonal, just like that. Not really to the front, but not all the way to the side, so kind of in the middle. And you can just stay in this tandem stance, or you can switch halfway through. It's up to you. Because those next sets that you're gonna do, then you can lead with your other foot. Let's do 3 more. Or you can sit on a ball for this one too. That's another good way to do it. All right, good. Remember, if you have a weight that you're using that's too much, stop. You can press pause, grab a smaller weight, and do it that way. So don't power through with a weight that's too heavy. All right, go ahead and do another cardio. Do this through it again a couple more times. Really give yourself a good challenge. Thanks, everybody. Keep moving, and I'll see you next time.